Hi everyone, welcome to Colouring with Kay and thank you for joining me today. So in this video I'm going to share a lovely flip of this beautiful book that I was not expecting at all, and it came today. So thank you so much to the publishers. I think it's Page Street Publishing for sending me this book. I didn't know that this book was being sent to me, but it was a lovely surprise, and I was planning on purchasing this when it was going to be released in the UK. I think it's in August, I'm not 100% sure, but I know that I had seen it around and I quite like the look of it. So yeah, lovely surprise, and thanks again. So I'm going to do a flip of this wonderful new book, and it is a Zen Doodle book. And yeah, let's do a flip, and then hopefully after the flip I'll be able to insert a little bit of some footage where I'm going to start colouring a page, and hopefully you'll see a completed page in this book at the end of August. So this book is by Lolita Ayer, I think that's an I rather than L. So creator of Meriki. Beautiful cover. It's about, let's just compare it to Worlds of Wonder. So this is Worlds of Wonder. I'm sure most of you know the size of that. So it's a little bit smaller, as you can see. But yeah, gorgeous book. So a little bit smaller than Worlds of Wonder. Let's just pop that away. Sit. Right, so it's got a cardboard cover, thick cardboard cover. I'm so glad it didn't come damaged because it's come all the way from the US. And yeah, you've got this lovely turquoise inner page, or you know, the first page should I say. And then we come to the title page. So you can colour that as well, so that's quite good. Does remind me a little bit of what book is it, by Mel Pamini, the second book that she released, because it's got that lovely design, you know, the detailed design that I quite like. The book belongs to Page. And then we've actually got a table of contents, which is really something that you don't get in many colouring books. So we've got birds, water beasts in the woods, and flying insects. So I quite like that, because then you know exactly what you're colouring. Because if you're like me, I don't always get the animals correct. And then a little bit of an introduction here as well, which is all colourable. The paper is good quality. Definitely not Amazon printed paper, so it's decent quality paper, and it is single-sided, which is really good. So if you want to use your alcohol markers, you can. So we've got a little bit of information here, elegance of a hummingbird. So yeah, page 6, so that's the hummingbird. Gorgeous detailed image. Let's centre it a bit so you can see. So this is our owl. I like the fact that on its tummy you've got this cauldron. Now, some of you might be thinking, how would you go about colouring all these Zen doodly things inside the actual image? Well, personally, if you wanted to do a quick colour, I would just do it like with pencil. So I'd colour the entire thing in pencil, do my shading as I normally would, so I'd just ignore the internal design, and then I'd get a fine liner and I'd go over some of the bits or the gel, or a gel pen maybe as well. So you could do the details and bring the details out with gel pen or fine liner. So that's toucan. We've got a lovely peacock. Now this one was one I was thinking of, one of the ones that I'd eyed up to say maybe I could colour this. But then there's so many to choose from, so I was a little bit unsure of which one to pick. We've got a rooster, quite like that farming scene at the back there. I prefer when as time goes on, I sort of, the type of pictures I like becomes more clarified, and I prefer scenes like this in the background rather than it just being empty, just because there's less things to think about, you know, what you're going to fill the background with. This is a really pretty picture as well. The swan. Good old flamingo. So yeah, they're all Zentangly, or most of them are anyway, but I wouldn't worry about these little Zentangly bits, because I know that it is a bit of a, you know, a bit of a worry where you think, how shall I colour that? Do I need to colour all the little pieces? But you don't have to. Depends how you feel. In some instances, I'd probably colour it because I like the detail, but in other instances not. Now this is incredibly detailed. I love this. I like all the sea creatures in the background as well. I'm definitely going to try watercolour on this paper as well and see how I fare with that. Probably just use watercolour pencils, I think. Although I believe the paint would be okay, particularly because it is single-sided as well. And if you want to speed things up, you could do the background in alcohol marker maybe. This is another one which I saw, which I really liked. Thought this was really pretty. Another one which I saw, which I really liked as well. I quite like all of the pictures, but some are more of a favourite than others, like this one as well. Dolphins. It's just such a whimsical style. And it's nice to have books with good quality paper. That's really pretty as well. That would take a while though. So yeah, I'm going to have to pretty much decide what I'm going to go for. There is a B page, which is the one that I've been eyeing up as well. This one I'd love to do in September, just because it's so, like, reminds me of autumn. Very autumnal squirrel. And then we've got a snail. I did see this one, I quite like this one as well, with all the mushrooms. A fascinating fox. Again, I like the background scene rather than it just being left blank. I prefer that. Elegant elephant. A deer. And then you've got panda and its bamboo love. A majestic wolf. Again, nice scene in the background that you can use watercolours or alcohol markers. Definitely prefer having single-sided pages. Quite like this beetle. It's going to be hard choosing a page out of this book. A moth. Could imagine doing this in like earthy, neutral tones. I think it would look really nice. Oranges and browns and deep reds. Quite like this one as well. Dragonfly delightfulness. Gorgeous ladybug. We call it a ladybird in the UK. But that's really pretty. Yeah, this is the one that's really standing out to me. I would probably do the honeycombs using, what is it? It's Helen Elliston's Special Effects colouring book, which, not colouring book, sorry, but it's one of these. I've probably picked up the wrong one, but I've done it before. There it is. So this one here, I like doing my honeycombs the way that it's described in Helen Elliston's book, because that's how I've done it on some other pictures. So I'd probably do the honeycombs in the same way using pencil. And then that would be black, yellow, black, yellow, black, you know, for the general bee colours, the body and the wings. I'm not altogether sure yet of how to do that, but possibly using some sort of iridescent paint and then go over some of these details with a real fine liner to bring out the details. That's an idea anyway. And then obviously the flowers could just be in pencil. Yeah, something like that. And then maybe watercolour for this background bit around the honeycomb, and then just fade it out. Yeah, something like that. But I can see blues here for the flowers, blues and purples, and then the usual bee colours, the yellow and the black. I think that would look quite nice. And then the honeycombs, the usual colours. Although you could use maybe the odd honeycomb with blues. I don't know. They're just ideas. I thought I'd share them. Gorgeous butterfly. And then we've got our acknowledgements. And then a little bit about the artist. So she's a Mumbai-based illustrator and graphic designer. But yeah, I must admit this book is very beautiful and I cannot wait to get started in it. So hopefully I'll insert a clip where I am doing some colouring on camera and doing a voiceover. So again, thank you to Page Street Publishing for sending me this book. Really appreciate it to share on the channel. So yeah, let's get on to the clip. Okay, so I decided on the honeycomb page, and I am using Helen Elliston's book to base how I colour the honeycombs. I've always used this, I've used it several times actually, and I quite like how the honeycombs come out. It is the Special Effects book 3, if you are interested, that has the honeycombs in. So I am going over first with all the Deco yellow. I'm using Prismacolors, so Deco yellow 1011, and then Canary yellow, and leaving a bit of white space, as you can see on the screen. So Canary yellow 916. Then I use goldenrod to cover most of the space and leave a bit of the canary yellow showing through, and then pumpkin orange, which is 1032, not covering all the entire area but leaving some of the previous colours showing. I am then I think that is actually the pumpkin orange that I'm using there, so you can see that I only apply it and sort of make sort of little patterns going in certain areas of the honeycomb. And then my next colour is, actually I'm doing 2 at a time, so that's still pumpkin orange I think. The next colour that I will be using, so these are random shapes that you put in areas. You can use similar colours in other brands of pencils which I have used, like the Polychromos I think I used in one of Johanna Basford's books. So now I'm using the Sienna brown, and I am just applying it again in certain areas over the parts where I put the pumpkin orange. Just going over some of the previous pencil colours, just to, because I am doing this at a faster speed than I would normally do if I weren't colouring on camera. I'm adding a bit of poppy red just to give a warmer feel to the honeycomb. That is 922. And then I finish off by adding some sepia red in some areas just to add some sort of dark areas. And then black to make it even darker, but only a little bit in some places. And then I go over the Deco yellow around the white, and I leave the white space in the middle. I then apply some white Posca. I mean, you could use white gel pen, but white Posca or a white paint pen works quite well. I find it doesn't keep skipping, which is good. So just add those details, and that's the honeycombs. And then I decided to do a few of the honeycombs in blue purple. I'm using it in the same way, but the colours are, if you're interested, I mean, you can do your honeycombs in whatever colours you like, which is great because you can just choose them. So I use cloud blue as my lightest colour, that's 1023, followed by Blue Lake 1102, which covers pretty much the entire area over the cloud blue. And then I do leave that little white space again on one area of the honeycomb. It doesn't really matter where that white area is. You can sort of change it up where you leave the white area and put it in different sort of areas of the honeycomb just to give it that random look. Now I'm adding Parma Violet, which is 1008, but I'm still leaving some of the Blue Lake in certain parts of the honeycombs showing, so I don't go over the entire area of the Blue Lake. I really like how the blue purple honeycombs come out, and I have written this colour combination down because I really like it. Just going over some of the colours again. The paper that's in this book took the Prismas really well, but then again, Prismas work quite well on most papers. I'm using Imperial Violet now to sort of make my random lines or shape in the honeycomb, so I don't go over the entire area as previously with the standard shade honeycombs that I used. Now I'm using Black Cherry 1078 just to add some dark areas, and then I add an even darker purple, which is the Black Grape 996, just in certain areas, because that is like my sepia colour for the other honeycombs I did. Then black again to add the darkest sections, Black 935, followed by the white 938. So yeah, that's how the honeycombs did take a while to do, but they're definitely worth it in terms of how they look. I mean, you could use a blender pencil as well to go over the entire thing. I did not. I just left it as it was because I thought it was good enough. Prismas blend quite seamlessly anyway, so it's quite good. So now I'm using some alcohol marker. I'm using my tri-blends. So I used a couple of those to colour, to colour the bee's body, because I wanted that that classic black yellow look. So I'm using alcohol marker, and I'm using a little bit of blending there with the dark, medium and light. So I do that on alternating sections of the bee's body. So it's the light yellow blend, actually, that's the name of this alcohol marker. And then I used lavender blend as well. But you can see I'm using my Prismas in the Canary yellow, I think it is, to add some shading to parts of the details inside the bee's body, because I wanted a little bit of depth. So I just add a bit of the is it the goldenrod. So I'm using the similar, well, not the similar, same colours as I used for the honeycomb, just to tie everything together so that, you know, I'm not using too many different colours. There are some pages where I like to use a lot of different colours, but I think in this instance, the subject matter and the composition of the page, I think, calls for like a more you know, limited colour palette. If it was a page like one of Johanna Basford's Rooms of Wonder, where like it's a room full of stuff, then I would probably use lots of different colours, and I wouldn't, you know, necessarily use a limited colour palette in that case, because things are quite, you know, there's loads of things, objects in a room, they're usually different colours rather than one theme. Although it doesn't mean you can't use, you know, smaller limited colour palette. So I'm using some gel pens now. I'm using my Deco, is it called Deco gel? Let's have a look. Looking at my notes. I hope you can't hear that drill noise outside, but if you can, I do apologise. So the body is the Deco gel pens. I think I'm using a gold, and yeah, I'm just going to shut the window as well because we don't want that noise coming in. That's better. So yeah, so now I'm adding some Jelly Roll black glaze as well, just going over the black areas just to make them stand out more and sort of pop. I mean, I use this black Jelly Roll glaze for almost all of my pages. And as you know, I like to use a variety of mediums for my pages where I possibly can. So yeah, that's the Deco gel. And then I do the rest of the body in the same way, the rest of the sections. Okay, so that's what we have. I think most of my honeycombs are done. And now I'm starting on the wings. You can see that one wing I've done off camera and I'm doing the other wing. So I'm using the similar colours again, or similar colours to the ones that I've used before. So lilacs, purples, violets, blues. These are the pastel tint Castle Art pastel tint pencils. So I use Heather 041, Larkspur 039, Blue Mist 036, Lobelia 037, Delphinium or Delphinium 033, and Foxglove 011, and Tickle Pink 043. And then I used actually I didn't, I'm just looking now, you know, the on the bead body, it wasn't the, mind you, it might have been the light yellow blend, I'm not sure, but I don't think I used lavender blend there. But on the wings I use lavender blend and the light yellow blend, I think. No, I don't use the, sorry, I've put my notes in the wrong place, typical. Light yellow blend I think I just used on the body, and the lavender blend I think I'm going to use that on the wings, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so those are the Castle Art pastel tint pencils on the wings. I do go over this entire wing with a Japanese watercolour paint. I use the purples and blues. I'm not sure what the name of this Japanese paint is. It's basically from Amazon Japan, and it's like a opalescent paint. So if you want to use a similar opalescent paint, I would suggest the Gansai Tambi Opal Colours set, which you can get hold of much easily in this country, and it'll give you a very similar look to the paint that I've used to give it a sort of a sheen, a lovely iridescent sheen. And I wanted the pencil colour to come through from underneath, so that's why I used that sort of a paint, which allows that. I was just having a look at the paint so I could remember the name. So this is the paint that I'm showing you now that I used. But like I said, the Gansai Tambi opal colours are absolutely fine to use. So you need to use the paint quite watery, because if you use it a little bit thick, so you need to add the water and then pretty much use the watered down paint as much, rather than leaving it to sit for ages, and then you'll get a thicker paint and then the colour won't show through as much. So you need the paint to be quite watery so that you can actually see all the details and the colour underneath, but it just gives it that sheen. I quite like using paints like that. So yeah, and you can see me going over that bit. Quite happy with how it comes out. And then I use my Molotow chrome pen, which is probably one of my favourite supplies to use. So this is the liquid chrome pen. I need to buy some more of this as well because it's just amazing. Really enjoy using it. So I decided to go over the wing details with the Molotow chrome pen, and then I also go around the body later on with that same pen, and I think the legs as well. Do I go over the legs? I can't remember, but yeah, if you haven't got this, you can still use a Uniball silver metallic gel pen or any other metallic gel pen. I have to say my favourite metallic gel pens are the Uniball ones because I believe that they work really well. They don't skip and they're really good quality. And they last quite a long time as well, so I would recommend those pens most definitely. And that's it. So I'm going to see you in a bit. Hi there, it's not quite by yet, so I hope you haven't clicked off the video. But yeah, I finished this page and I wanted to show you it. I thought it'd be nice to show you at the end of this video. I know it wasn't a full colour along type video, but I did a little bit of colouring on camera at least. But this is the finished page and I'm really pleased with it. I did put a few of these painted honeycombs. So I used Rebecca's from the Art Spirits glistening violet, I think it is. I did do 3 coats because I think I didn't use enough water and it was a little bit thick, the paint, but then yeah, it's a beautiful colour as you can see. And then I also used her Star Gold, which is absolutely gorgeous, so I used that for a couple of honeycombs as well. And then I used Prismacolors for the flowers, and I used this the colours that I used in the honeycombs because I wanted to tie it all together rather than be lots of different colours, because I thought that would look nice. And then the background is an Ohuhu alcohol marker, which I used, and then I used some of the higher oil pastels just on the edges because I wanted it to be darker. I smudged it with my fingers and yeah, it was alright, but I wanted to blend it a bit better, so I used some white spirits, which does smell a lot, but still it works in blending really well. And then I used some fine liner for these little bits of leaves, I think they are. And then the bees have got some Jelly Roll Glaze black, and also I've used some pastel tint pencils on the wings and then went over it with like a iridescent opal sort of a paint. And then there is also some acrylic marker on the black outlines of the flowers. And yeah, I used a silver gel pen for these circles just because I thought it comes out quite well. So I am really pleased with this page. I am going to show it in August because I've already filmed my July pages, so this will be for August, I think. But I'm really happy with it. I think the drawings in this book are stunning. Like I said, I was going to purchase it I was planning to purchase it even before I was sent it, and I wasn't aware that they were going to send me it. So again, thank you so much to the publishers. I really enjoyed this page, and I'm hoping to colour in this book again very, very soon. But yeah, dead pleased. Hope you all are like this as well. Yeah, let me know what you think of the page, and until next time, guys, take care, happy colouring. This is really goodbye. Bye until my next video.